Hello, everybody. Welcome to another basics cooking class. Tonight, we're looking at a shrimp salad in the style of the Mexican Riviera. My name is Sam. I'm a chef, a culinary mentor here at Basics Market. We're going to just be going through this nice hot weather dish. It's really warm here in Portland, Oregon today. As I was driving over here, I got a 96 on my temperature gauge in my car. And so this is a kind of dish that is just really great for the hot weather, a nice, nice cool one. If you have any questions while we're going through this class, please feel free to tap on your Q&A box, send it, and we will be watching for questions, comments, and they will be relayed to me, and then I can answer them if I can, and if not, we'll figure out a way to do it, and we can also get back to you at your email if you give that to us. You can email all your cooking questions to us at letscook@basicsmarket.com. And this recipe is available in the stores. We have these really pretty recipe cards going through all the ingredients, some nutritionals and method. And this recipe is also available online at basicsmarket.com. We have a recipes section there, which has many more recipes as well. Also, we have all our past classes that have been recorded. They are posted there. And also there's some neat skills videos there, and we're going to reference some of those, some skills videos that are available on the website tonight, because we'll be utilizing some of those skills with this, this salad recipe. So without further ado, let's have a look. So the Mexican Riviera is the west coast of Mexico, and it's sort of a coin, a phrase coined to refer to a nice spot to visit, right, along the coast, like the French Riviera, and we have close to us the Mexican Riviera. But there is a style of cooking which it utilizes fresh local ingredients and just really kind of a la minute seafood and great stuff like that. So we are going to be using shrimp tonight. And so we want to start by prepping our shrimp. And if you're cooking along with me, you should be able to do that. We'll kind of take that into consideration tonight. I'm going to go through sort of a mock simmer here because for the class, I did previously simmer my poaching liquid, but we can go through it. And the deal with this recipe is you're going to poach your shrimp, and that will happen while we're preparing the rest of the ingredients for the salad. And this is really sort of like making a salsa with shrimp. So that's kind of the time we're looking at here. And so it's not terribly complicated. And we're just going to go through some cutting techniques, look at good knife skill practice, and pay attention to how to clean some shrimp and stuff like that. So let's have a look at these guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull another board out so I can keep my nice veggie board clean while I look at some shrimp. So you're gonna use about 16 to 20 shrimp. Now, you can get shrimp fresh, like these guys, which are real beauties. They have their head on still, and so a fresh shrimp is going to come with the head on, or sometimes you can get them headless as well, but it will have its shell. We sell in our markets, the basics markets, we do have frozen shrimp, and this recipe calls for Gulf shrimp, and I believe the the product we have in the stores are from the Gulf. And so you're looking for like a 16-20 shrimp, and that simply means that there's 16 or 20 shrimp to the pound. So the lower the number on a shrimp, bag of shrimp or whatever, that just means they're going to be larger. But you're looking for kind of a medium shrimp, and that's a 16 to 20 range, and that's what these guys are. So if you do get a shrimp with the head on, they're really easy to clean, and you just want to find there's like a little kind of gill in the where the head connects to the body, and you can just stick your thumb right under there and just pop the head right off, and it just pops right off, really easy. Another way to kind of stabilize it, if you can grab it with 2 fingers and get a really nice clean beheading of a shrimp. And so the heads I'm going to put there. Now we're going to be utilizing the shells to give flavor to the poaching liquid, and this poaching liquid is going to come back into play at the end, and it's going to sort of juice up our salad and give us a lot of nice deep flavors. So to peel the shrimp, you just want to find the legs and go down, and the shell pops off, should just pop right off, and you just go down to the tail and then give a little tug and the tail will pop off, and then you've got your peeled shrimp. And next we're going to devein the shrimp. So let's peel these. So if you're doing this along with me, you'll have more shrimp to do than I do. I'm just doing the 3 for demonstration, and you will have up to 16 or 20 shrimp. So take your time. You can you can still be watching this while you're enjoying peeling your shrimp. You want to put your peels right in the pot, or actually we want to put the peels in the shrimp. We're going to give them a little rinse. So you're going to want to, we're going to give them a rinse. So you want to go ahead and put them in a little bowl, and then we'll rinse the shrimp and the peels, and then we'll put them in our pot. Okay, now the shrimp you're going to want to devein, and deveining, this is where we take out the vein, which is just the digestive tract on the shrimp. And so you just want to run a sharp knife down the back and find the little string in there, and you're going to pop that out and discard that. And then you'll put your clean deveined shrimp in the bowl with the shells. And then you're going to give those a little rinse and strain them out.
Sam, we have our first question.
Yeah, great. We have a question, so let's hear it.
Can you use the heads to make your stock? The heads of the shrimp?
You can put the heads in there as well. Sure. Just you don't want to put the vein, your digestive tract in there, but I think that the heads are fine, and there'll be a lot of flavor in those heads as well. All right. So we've got our shells, we've got our shrimp. Give these a little rinse, and I'm going to be a little theoretical here. Say I had these in the water. You want to strain them, and then we're going to put them in the pot. Okay. Now we're going to add a pint of water, which is 2 cups. And then we are going to add some crushed or bruised peppercorns. You want it to get about a quarter teaspoon. And so you can use the side of your knife and just run it, press it down on your peppercorns and just give them a little crush. And then that goes into your poach. Okay, and then you have a bay leaf and a bit of salt. I think we're looking at a quarter teaspoon. And then you want to have one lime that you're just going to quarter. So we're going to go ahead and quarter the lime, cut it in half, each of those in half. And that goes into your poach. Now, you put this on a stove, on some heat, bring it to a simmer, and then you'll cover it and take it off the heat. And you should have a result of something like this. So here, like you'd have the shells and the shrimp just hanging out. So after it comes to a simmer, you just want a gentle simmer. You don't want to boil them too much or at all. Just bring it to a nice gentle simmer, then cover, then off the heat and let it sit there. And the shrimp will cook and we'll get those nice flavors infused into that water while it's sitting. Okay, so now let's look at the remainder of the salad. Next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about the poblano. So poblano, you see poblano, sometimes you see these called pasilla, and a pasilla is actually this pepper when it's been smoked and dried. But this is the poblano. And these are these big chilies. They're pretty mild. And then I've got one that I've already roasted. So this is the thing that is on our website. We did a demo and recorded a demo of how to go about roasting the chili and prepping it for something like this. So you can go about it a couple ways. One is you'll throw this right, if you have a gas grill, use some tongs and just go ahead and put it right on the burner, an open flame. Move it around until you get it all charred, blackened, blistered. Another way to do it is in the oven under the broiler, and you just want to turn it once in a while and get that nice char on there. And you're looking for charred, bubbly pepper. And then you can just wrap it immediately in plastic wrap. Or you can also put it in a paper bag and seal it really well, or like in a Tupperware with a lid and seal it. And what you're looking for is just a really good steam. And what's going to happen is it will soften up the skin and you can peel it really easily. So here we have our charred poblano, all right? And you can see the difference there. And to get the skin off, use the back of a chef's knife and just run it right over, and that charred skin should pop right off. Okay, and as always, we have a little bit of a compost bowl going here. Very handy while you're working to keep a compost bowl nearby. All right, now to get the seed pack out of the pepper, just pop off the stem and get the seeds all right there. And we can open this up, and we're just going to be using half of the pepper for this recipe, so you can reserve the other half for another salsa or something like that. And again, you can get the seeds out with the back of a chef's knife. Just pop them right out. Okay, so there we have our poblano. And this I am just going to go ahead and I am going to dice it. And what you get from the char is a really nice smoky element to this. Salad. Yeah. Yeah, we have a question.
It's back to the shrimp and preparing the shrimp.
Yes.
Could you just cook the shrimp whole and then peel and prepare afterwards and get the shrimp afterwards?
You really need to get those guts out. And then as far as the head, putting it in there will give you a strong flavor in it. It may, you might, if you really want that sort of strong flavor, you could use the head, but you might, if you want a more mild, less intense shrimpy flavor, you might want to leave the head out. The peel, it's usually you're just using the peel, the body, the shell in something like this, and I think because it's going to give you a little bit of a more mild flavor. But yeah, it's important to get to clean it before you cook it, because that is, that guts is like the intestine of the shrimp, and it has all the junk in it. So you want to get that out of the way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we'll start putting our salad together in this bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those chilies in there and get any seeds out. We've got that. That's our chili. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at the tomatoes. So I have two nice tomatoes. These were vine ripened, and so they're the kind that just came on the vine in the store. And tomato season is coming up. I know I've finally got a little bit of fruit on a couple of our tomato plants, and I'm excited about that. So to core the tomato, you just want to look at, this is the core, the top here. A paring knife is a good deal here, and I'm going to get a fresh paring knife that I haven't used for raw shrimp, and we're going to go ahead and just run that paring knife around the top of the tomato, and then you want to pop that out. And that's the core. And then the rest of this is all usable. And so now we're going to go ahead and dice this tomato up. So I'm going to cut it in half. And then we're going to go ahead and cut it in half, strips, and then we'll go across. And this is just going to be a rough chop. And if you have a good sharp knife, one test for a sharp knife is can it cut a tomato easily? And this knife is pretty sharp. But if I could tune it up a little bit. And so here's a steel. And so to tune it up, you can just run your knife blade down the steel at sort of a 25-degree angle. And it will sharpen it up a little bit. And you'll notice I'm holding the blade right at the end of the handle here with my thumb and forefinger. And this is a good technique for when, for having a high comfort level while you're chopping. All right. Okay, so here's our nice ripe tomato. We diced it up. These are 2 tomatoes. And we're going to go ahead and pop that in the bowl with the chilies. Okay. So there we've got our tomatoes and chilies in a bowl. What else? Let's see. Next, we have the jalapeno or serrano. So I chose a serrano, but jalapeno would work well here too, as just nicely also. A jalapeno will tend to be a little bit milder than a serrano, but sometimes you get a real spicy jalapeno as well. So with chilies, you just want to always be aware of the seeds and the oil, and the seeds contain the chili oil. So we want to watch out and not touch your eyes or any sensitive body parts without washing your hands after handling the chili. And I'm just cutting, I sliced it in half, and then we're taking the seeds out, and with a spoon. I'm just running that spoon down the chili and removing the seeds. All right, and now we'll dice this up. And you want to dice and we're using only half again, so we'll put that with the other chili. And with these, you could make like another salsa. We have some other salsa recipes on our website. I think we've got 3 of them, and you could definitely utilize these leftover chilies for one of those salsa recipes. And there's also a class on those salsas posted, so you could have this shrimp salad, and you could have some salsa and really do it up. This salad is great with tortillas, like some nice warm tortillas or some tortilla chips. And it can eat like a meal, almost like tacos in a way. Some nice shrimp tacos, or as an appetizer. All right, so we have a really good mince on this chili, and we'll add that to our bowl with the tomato and the poblano. Okay, so you still have your shrimp, right? They're covered, and they're just cooking away there, just sitting and poaching. All right, so now we've got our tomatoes, our jalapeno or serrano, and our poblano in there. Now we're going to look at the onion. So I have a white onion. You'll know white onions are often used in fresh dishes like this and in salsas. They have a little bit of a sharper flavor than a yellow onion. Yellow onion will be more mellow and sweet, and a white onion really lends itself to being a little bit punchy, giving some nice sharp notes to a dish like this. Um, so to peel an onion, and again, we have a video of this on our website if you want to reference, more about cutting up an onion. Um, but what we will like to do is leave the root end on and cut off the stem end. And here I'm utilizing the claw with my left hand. This is the claw. And so I'm keeping my fingers tucked in, gripping the onion and taking off that top end. And then we can cut it, we'll cut it right down the middle over that root end. And for this, I think we're just using a third. So we'll go ahead, and a quarter would be here. I'd say a third is about there. So here we have the white onion. And again, this remainder of white onion would be really good in a salsa. And then from here, it's really easy to peel. And that root keeps everything together as we dice the onion. And so I'm going to go ahead and just run my knife in the same direction as the lines that naturally are there on this onion. And then you can see how the root end is holding everything together. And I can go ahead and claw there just to stabilize, and then run the knife down, and you should have a good dice automatically. And there it is, the diced white onion. We'll throw that into our bowl. Okay, getting close. We've got the white onion, we've got the chilies, we've got the tomato. Now we're going to look at cilantro. So we're going to be using a half a bunch of the cilantro. So the cilantro, I took a whole bunch and I washed it. A neat trick to wash cilantro or parsley is just take like a big bowl, fill it with, or you can put it in the sink actually in the bottom of your sink, and put some cold water, have some cold running water, and then take your bunch of cilantro and dunk it in upside down, and just do that a few times, and all the dirt will come out and settle to the bottom of the bowl. And then you can give it a little rinse and then a shake, and you should have some good clean leaves. So with this cilantro, we're going to go ahead and chop it up. And we just want the leaves here. So one technique for getting the leaf off the cilantro or a parsley is to run the blade of your knife across, and the leaves should sort of pop off for you. All right, and that's cilantro stems. I'm going to put it in my compost bowl, and we'll give the cilantro a chop. And with that half bunch, if you just have the half bunch, I should have and could have pulled a few sprigs off for our garnish, but I have more here, so I'm not too worried about that. But if I were following the recipe, I probably would have reserved a few sprigs. I don't know if it talks about that specifically, but we want half a cup. So yeah, I guess I'm doing it right. All right, so we're gonna do half a cup of cilantro here, and then we have more cilantro for finishing the dish. Okay. Okay, now we are going to look at the limes. So we want to juice 2.5 limes, and then we're going to hold half a lime back to garnish. So let's go ahead and 2 across for easy juicing. And then for the one we're going to slice, I'm going to cut from end to end because it's better for cutting those quarters, which are going to be garnished if it's cut in that direction. And we can still get the juice out of it. And here I've got this snazzy juicer. Of course, you have a built-in juicer with your hand. Works pretty well for limes especially, and you don't have to worry about seeds with limes so much. This juicer is really great for lemons where you have seeds, but it also is really nice for limes or any citrus because it will squeeze them thoroughly. So this is the 2.5 limes juicing. Okay. Now we've got some olive oil. You could use avocado oil or olive oil. This is 2 tablespoons, and we're going to go ahead and drizzle that over. And we'll give this a little mix. You just want a nice, even mix of all those ingredients. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at our poach. So here, we're going to strain out your poached shrimp. And so if you're cooking along with me, your shrimp should be finished, or maybe you're, still peeling and deveining shrimp. But this is at this juncture in our recipe here, it is time to strain the poaching liquid for me. So here we go. There's all those nice shells cooked, and they turn bright pink. And we're going to grab half a cup of poaching liquid. And this should have some good aromatic from the bay leaf, flavor from the shrimp and the shells. And then the lime got poached in there as well. So it's very flavorful. Okay. Now we're going to cut some shrimp. And so you'll pull your shrimp out of the shells, and you'll have some cooked shrimp. And this is about 20 shrimp here that I have pulled out already. And so for these shrimp, we're going to cut them in 1/2-inch pieces. So, it's either just in half or just about in half or so with this size shrimp. So I'm just going to cut them right down the middle. It's a little antenna. And so you can see when the shrimp is cooked, it's just got that nice white color. It's firm. It's no longer translucent. Okay, so there's our shrimp. Now, another something I forgot to mention earlier is you can and it's a really nice touch to freeze the serving dish that you're going to be serving the salad in. And you can do this in individual like cups is pretty neat, like a shrimp cocktail kind of deal, or you can do it in a big bowl, and that's what I'm going to do. I've got this big bowl here, and this is what we'll use for our service. So if you have frozen your dish, you want to pull it out now. And then we'll look at the avocado. So we've got 2 avocados. I've got some nice big ones, and I was able to grab a couple really perfectly ripe ones, I think. And we're going to go ahead and dice these up, or into 1/2-inch pieces. Okay, so avocado, you know, there's a many ways to get into the avocado. I'll show it. We have 2, so we can do a few different techniques here. But mainly, you just want to be careful because the avocado can be a little bit wiggly. So once again, claw, and then you hold your knife, pinch between the thumb and forefinger, the end of the handle. And then what I like to do is just kind of spin the avocado around. And you just want to feel where that pit is. And then you can do a little twist motion, and the pit should be on one side of the avocado, 1/2. Okay, and then from here, as with all cutting, it's always good to get that stable side of your fruit or vegetable. So here we have a lot of rocking back and forth. You flip that over, and then you've got your flat side down, and you can cut that avocado into quarters, and then we can go ahead and cut those quarters in half with the skin still attached, and then go down it, and you get nice 1/2-inch pieces this way. And so the avocado is going to go directly into the bottom of your dish. Do we have a question?
Yeah, Sam. Just looking for tips on how to pick a ripe avocado. How do you know if it's ripe or not ripe?
Oh, great.
Or even overripe?
Yeah, thank you. That is something I started talking about that, didn't I? And then so yes, I was happy to find these because they were just ripe. And one thing that I learned recently is if the stem is ready to pop out, it's in good shape, and that's how these are. It's just that stem is about to pop right out. Another way, and produce people don't of course produce workers don't appreciate this, I'm sure, but you know, if you give it just a little bit of a squeeze, you don't want to poke your fingers right into it, but if it gives just a tad, you know, you don't want it like to be mushy, but if you feel it just giving a little bit, that's a good sign. You want to look for even color on the outside. You don't want real dark spots that look like it's starting to rot or you know, get super mushy. And that's sort of what I got there. And another thing, you know, if you have some time, you know, and you think you'll be making a dish with avocados down the road, you can just buy like hard avocados and let them ripen. And often I'll buy many, you know, 4 or 5 avocados at a time and just put them in a bowl on my kitchen counter, and then make a dish like this when they're ready, when they start to give a little bit. And again, when the stem kind of gets wiggly and is ready to pop out is a really good indicator of a ripe avocado. Okay, so here's our other piece here. And you can, if you don't want to get your fingers all messy, you can use a spoon and slide that avocado off. Um, and then there's the pit. Now I just saw this. This was a pretty cool trick I saw, and this can only be done with kind of a perfectly ripe avocado, and we'll see if we've got one. But if you take the avocado and squeeze both sides, and then just push the back a little bit, well, this one's a little bit clingy, but the pit will pop out, and that's pretty neat. And if you know, if it's overripe, you might go right through, and if it's underripe, you end up with a mess. But it's a cool technique that works when that avocado is just at that spot, and it worked pretty well there. I got a little bit of a crumble, but not too bad. Now here I'll go just with this whole half and do that same technique of lengthwise cuts and then cuts across. And then with the whole half, you can usually just turn that skin inside out, and all those little pieces will kind of fall out. And it's crumbled a little bit from my popping of the pit, but I think that's a pretty cool technique. Now we'll do, but yeah, and my fingers are a little messy. I'll do another half. These were pretty large avocados, so I think I'll just do 1.5, or we won't have room for much else. And I was going to show, oh yeah, there's another way you can go about the avocado, which is, this is kind of Mexican street style, like a taco stand or something like that, or someone putting together this salad on a food cart or something. And you can go really fast just with a spoon, and just spoon it out and save yourself a lot of trouble. I mean, if you're looking for a real, you know, symmetrical slices, you know, this isn't exactly that, but really you get a real similar effect, and look how fast and clean you can go. And I like this technique. I mean, it's neat, and actually you get a pretty kind of a cool shape, because you get the little round of the spoon, and it's so fast, and then your hands don't even have to touch the avocado at all. So that's kind of a neat thing. And please, you know, whatever you do, don't do this stuff with your palm and smack the knife into the pit, because that can be very dangerous. And I have seen well, 2 people get hurt that way within my career. So, you know, there's other ways. One neat way to get a pit out really safely and simply is just with a spoon, and just pop the pit out before you're working with that side of the avocado. Okay, so here we have our avocado in our frozen bowl. And now we can assemble the rest of our salad, right? So we've got our, what boils down to a salsa type mixture here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the shrimp in with our salsa. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to put the shrimp into this bowl. And then we're going to add the tomato mixture. And we're going to add half a cup of poaching liquid. And give that a good mix. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and spoon this shrimp and tomato mixture over. The avocados, and you can kind of work it in a little bit. And then there'll be a little bit of remaining liquid in here, and we can add that over the top. But boy, this is really, it's really pretty, right? Okay, so we got that stuff, and then we'll just drizzle our remaining liquid. And very nice. Okay. Now, we're about there. We got our cilantro we can put on the top. We've got our, I've got some hot sauce. So our recipe says tapatio or any kind of hot sauce you like. I chose this Cholula. I actually prefer Cholula personally. I like it has, to me, a more rounded flavor than tapatio. Tapatio has a nice hot flavor, very good and sharp. But mostly I chose this because it was this cute little bottle and we just need a little bit. But I thought this bottle was so cute. It's just tiny. So put some Cholula, some whatever kind of hot sauce you like on there. And then we've got our lime, and we can quarter this lime. So again, I'm going for the flat surface of the lime, cut it in half, and then we'll cut those into quarters. And then with a lime or a lemon, you know, sometimes you get that little white deal in the middle, the pithy stuff, and you can just run your knife across the top and get that out of the way. And you have some nice quarters. And then we've got our sprigs of cilantro, which are plentiful. And just kind of put those around for some good snacking. And here we have a nice dish, and we can finish it with a little fresh black pepper. So this is freshly ground black pepper, and you just can sprinkle a tad of that over the top. And here we go. There's our dish. And then to eat it, as I mentioned before, some warm tortillas, like corn tortillas, are good, or chips. And you know that, again, this is a great thing to make in this hot weather. You can prepare your shrimp well ahead of time and keep them chilled. You know, a day or even 2 days in it prior to making the dish. Well, let's see how it eats. Very good. You get a little bit of that smoky background from the chili that we did over the open flame. I mentioned the open flame and the broiler. And another way to do that chili is in a skillet over on just on a stovetop. If you have like an electric stovetop, just get your skillet nice and hot. Roll that chili, the poblano around on the top, and it will blister for you that way as well. Um, but you'll get that nice smoky flavor from that. Get a little bit of heat from the serrano or jalapeno. Get the acid from the lime. Get a nice kind of uh, what do I say, like a full flavor from the poaching liquid, which had the bay leaf in there for aromatic and the pepper and stuff. So anyway, a lovely dish and perfect for this hot, hot day. I hope you enjoyed the class tonight. We have some other classes coming up soon. Next month, on the 14th, we'll be doing a veggie BLT where we're going to turn tofu into bacon. Um, then we're looking on the 21st of chicken kebabs with a garlic lemon sauce and veggies, kind of a Middle Eastern treatment. And then we're going to make some nice scones with some of our fresh local berries. Thanks again for joining me. It's always a pleasure to be here. Again, my name is Sam. We're at Basics Market in Portland, Oregon. We have 5 locations, Sandy Boulevard, Hillsdale, on Capitol Highway. We have a meat market on Canyon Road in Beaverton, and we have a downtown location on 13th and Lovejoy. And that location has a full deli, and you can get all kinds of good stuff there to eat immediately. And please come visit any of our stores where we also have a great prepared foods program with sandwiches and stuff. If you want to just grab a bite and don't feel like cooking in this hot weather, or unless you're making something cold, you like this. All right, thanks again, and please join me next time, and make sure to check out our website, basicsmarket.com, where you can find tons of recipes, tips, and all kinds of great stuff. See you next time, and happy cooking.